Wait a minute. Where is he this time? Oh, I think he left. What? Oh no, he's not getting away this easy. And are you trying to hide from me in your mother's closet? It was the only place I thought you wouldn't think I would look. Oy, come on. You have to do it. I don't want to, Trixie. You're doing it. I don't want to. It's Von Doom. You know what that does to me. Come on. No. You'll do it. No. You'll be fired. And you can take over. Do it. No. Do it. Look, a torch can do my job. Yes, but nobody would understand her. I'm not doing it. I repeat, there's nothing you could say that will make me do it. And what's that DVD you're holding? Here's the deal. You do it, and we'll let you watch Rainbow Rocks. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Fandom Fridays. Well, after last month of me being happy, reading a really good supernatural fic, reading plenty of awesome Buffy fics, the world decided that my boss decided that she hates my guts. Which reminds me, I am so reading you a Twixie fanfic later, Trixie. Bite me! So, they decided to make me do another Von Doom. Oh golly. You know, I started to think that I do this out of a deep repressed sadomasochism. Or insanity clause. So, what crossover are we going to do today? Yes, we are doing a crossover with those mutants themselves. The X-Men. Proceed. Sailor Moon and the X-Men by Victor Von Doom. Chapter 1. The Reunion. Era of Apocalypse. Reunited and it feels so good. Tokyo's International Airport. 20-30 hours. And that would be... Can we please not do this military time? An air traffic controller receives an emergency call from a very unusual plane. An SR-38 flight is unusual. Sure. Tokyo's International Airport. Please identify yourself. Good evening, Tokyo. This is Blackbird, a Cyclops, leader of the X-Men speaking. We request permission to land due to technical problems. Now, since Cyclops is the leader of the X-Men, and the X-Men are a known band of mutants, I could see why they would have problems landing on such an international airport. There might be plenty of people who might be opposing it. Permission granted. You may land on Strip 5. Or they could have an easier time landing than the freaking President of the United States! Okay, Pete. Minutes later, the Blackbird landed, and its occupants descended from it. Okay, Peace. What do you think? It will take about 3 days to fix it, Cyclops. Do we have to find a place to stay? After this, the X-Men, Professor Xavier, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Beast, Storm, Wolverine, Jubilee, Rogue, and Gambit. Hey! We're dealing with the 90s team! Sweet! This fic just might be good. Left at the airport. One of these days, you're going to learn how to spell, right? And headed towards a hotel. The next morning, Logan, this is Wolverine's name and will be used during the story. Logan is Wolverine's name? Oh, how nice of you to tell us this, Von Doom. Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Author. I haven't been this shocked since I found out that Bruce Banner was the Hulk. Future writers, take note. Parentheses don't work like this. And Jubilee decided to go shopping. At the same time, Haruka and Mishiru were staying at the same mall. Haruka noticed their presence and stood there watching the man until Mishiru pulled her arm. Are you alright? Yeah, let's go. They continued on their way. On the other side of the mall, Isagi, Ami, Makoto, Rei, and Mina were along with their guardian cats, Luna and Artemis, entered the mall. I'm pretty positive there was something wrong with that sentence. Simultaneously, Rogue and Gambit were looking for Jubilee and Logan when the girls spotted him. Mina, look at that hunk. Isn't he cute? Isn't he cute? Yeah, but he has a girlfriend already. Huh? Can, how can you be so sure? Maybe she's his sister. Serena! What is it, Ray? Aren't you forgetting about somebody? Huh? Darian. But I'm going to find out. With this, Mia followed them, and then, when Gambit was looking for a deck of cards, she tried to bump into him, but miscalculated and bumped into Rogue, who couldn't avoid physical contact with the girl, absorbing her powers. Time out. It's physical contact, skin to skin. So, and Rogue wears enough clothing to prevent most of her skin contact with the exception of her face and lips. So, unless when Minako bumped her, Rogue decided to do a headbutt, I don't see how this works. I'm so sad. Ah! She did fall to the ground unconscious. Hearing her scream, the other girls, along with the cats, rushed to her aid. But when they arrived, neither Minako or the men she was following were there. They asked to have a witness. Hallelujah! And he told them that he, along with the others, took the blonde girl. He who? The witness? The witness took the others? Who took the others? Took the blonde girl into a car and left it in place. Wait. So, time out. Rogue and Gambit bump into Minako. Minako gets her powers drained. And the guys decide to take her into the car? How do you suppose that conversation went? Oh, Rogue, as a mate, does you? Yes, I kind of took her powers. Oh, darn it, she's KO'd. We all got one choice. Maybe we'll leave her hair, Gambit thinks. No, Bob. Shake! We're kidnapping her. I always wanted a Japanese schoolgirl. Oh, yeah. See how I fit right nicely with the clothes of other girls I kidnapped. Well, if Logan says, let's go. We have to find her! Screamed Serena. Girls, it's time to transform, ordered Luna. Moon! Prism! Power! Mercury! Power! Mars! Power! Jupiter! Power! Once they were transformed, Sailor Moon used her moon scepter to find where Mina was. I didn't know the idea the moon scepter could do that. Do you think it's actually like a dowsing rod? They started to follow here until they arrived to a hotel in central Tokyo. Inside, Minako was receiving assistance from the X-Men. What happened? Looks like a kid. Looks like a kid tried to get closer to Gambit, but found me. You know, this would be so much easier if you gave them any of their distinctive voices or gave them any of their distinctive dialogues, Mr. Writer. Try again. What happened? Well, it looks like the kid tried to get closer to Gambit, but she found me instead, Professor. There was nothing I could do, but there is more, Professor. I think she's a mutant. Look. Pointing her finger at the window, she fired a laser blast, which was seen by Sailor Moon and the other Sailor Senshi. This brings up an interesting point. Do you think magic powers work the same as mutant powers? Do you think that has Rogue ever accidentally absorbed? No. Scarlet Witch works on chaotic powers. Gee, this is a quandary. Has he ever tried absorbing the powers of Doctor Strange? I mean, we know that she can absorb the base powers of any of the X-Men, of any mutant. I mean, that's one of her superpowers. And we all know that she could absorb Carol Danvers' powers. That's how she gained flight, speed, and super strength. Speaking of which, who's looking forward to the Captain Marvel movie? So, that should work, but Minako's powers are magic-based, and I don't know if she's ever stolen. Get on with it! Yes, get on with it! Get on with it! I'm sorry. My apologies. There she is! Ricardo Montalban? They entered the hotel and runned up the stairs to get to the room where Minako was. In there, the X-Men were checking her when the door opened. Stop right there, nigga trash! I'm Sailor Moon, champion of justice! I fight wrong and triumph over evil! That means you! The X-Men were surprised. Wait a minute, please. I'm Professor Arg! Well, pleased to meet you, Professor Arg. A powerful lightning blast coming from Jailer Jupiter made him fall from the chair. Seeing this, the X-Men prepared to battle. Okay, Nobody enters our room and attacks the professor. Take this. Jubilee used her God! Jubilee used her powers against the Sailor Scout and she was closer to happening. What's happening, baby? To be Sailor Mercury. Ami fell to her knees, blinded by the fireworks. Meanwhile, the rest of the scouts moved around the room. Sailor Mars attacked Wolverine, who dodged but couldn't avoid a burn on his arm. So I constituted that Wolverine was a deadly enemy, especially when you hurt him. He wanted to stop him, but he had Sailor Moon attacking him. Wolverine sewed his adamantium claws and flew over to Sailor Mars, making her and himself pass through the window. Then, falling to the ground, the two stories below. Ooh, nasty. Inside, Cyclops used his side beams and low charge and fired against Sailor Moon, who fell to the ground, but stood up again and prepared to use the center against him. Meanwhile, Sailor Jupiter had a flash against Storm, who showed him what a lightning bolt was all about when she called upon the powers of the nature and as he commanded. I hate you. Oh, yeah, that's it. Are we sure Storm could overpower... Okay, this is bringing up way too many metaphysical questions. Outside the building, Wolverine was about to finish Sailor Mars, who was unconscious, but when he was about to stick his claws in the girl's chest, a rose hit his eyes. Rose! He stood up to see a man in a sailor suit, tuxedo suit, but when the strange individual was about to attack him, Gavin threw several cards through. But he was able to move as he exploded. He also saw an 8-year-old girl dressed like the girls. They were fighting. The girl ran down toward him, trying to attack him, but Rogue took her and started taking off her his clothes. So that sounds like his gender? He absorbed enough energy to knock her out. Simultaneously, the two other Sailor Sensi showed up. They were Sailor Uranus and Neptune, but Jean Grey captured them in a telekinetic cage. Well, they were pointless. Suddenly, all of them stopped the battle when they heard a voice in their minds. Enough! Stop this endless war at once! Sailor Moon, what shall we do? Asked Sailor Jupiter. I don't know. This is weird. Suddenly, the bald man stepped out, wearing his Starfleet uniform. He overlooked the bridge of the Enterprise. So, holodeck and... Well, that was an interesting adventure. Although, I must ask, whose idea was it to program the holodeck to use X-Men and figures for attacking purposes? And laid a finger on her forehead. Yasagi felt a strange energy going through her body, which made her fall to her knees. Suddenly, she started to see images. Considering how much weed I've been smoking throughout this fic, I've been seeing images too. Showing her who these individuals were. These individuals. Learn grammar. The way they became the X-Men. And the enemies they... Well, yeah, I don't think that's a big... They were born with it. And the enemies they fought, ending with the strange storm that forced their land on Tokyo. At the same time, Professor Xavier saw the story behind the Sailor Sensi. The way the Moon Kingdom was destroyed, and their rebirth. He also saw the battle against Queen Beryl and the Negaverse, then against the Black Moon Kingdom, and then the destruction of Sailor Saturn. Sailor Saturn wasn't destroyed. She was reborn as a little baby. You even seen why Minako crashed against Rogue that morning. So, you're Sailor Moon. Tell me why you and your friends attacked us. We thought you were enemies, because you kidnapped Minako. I see. Let me explain. We had to take her here, because we don't like to show our powers in public. So a bunch of answers! And them showing their powers in public. People do not understand the nature of our power and fear us. Unfortunately, your surprise attack forced us to use our powers to defend ourselves. I hope your friends are okay. Granted, considering the fact that I am one of the most powerful psychics in the universe, I should have been able to figure this out days ago. And granted, kidnapping your friend was kind of stupid of all of us. Thanks. She started looking around, noticing Ray wasn't around. Suddenly, the door opened, and Wolverine entered the room carrying Mars in his arms. Simultaneously, Rogue entered through the window, with Sailor Moon in her arms as well. In other areas of the room, Sailor Jubilee was taking care of Sailor Mercury. Here, put this on your eyes. It'll take the pain away and allow you to open them. What did you do to me? Yeah, just disagreed, Bert. Ow! In order to blind you, and I think you and your friends should use some kind of other uniforms, you know. Why? Well, let's just put it this way, girl. They are way too provocative. So says the girl who pals around
around with some of the most stripperific costumes in the universe. Have you seen the way so Psylocke dresses? I mean, my gosh, I'm surprised nobody has went for the legs yet. And don't even get me started on Black Widow and Captain Marvel and
Okay, I get it. I'm no one to talk. On the other side of the room, Ray awakened and started to look around. When she noticed the presence of the X-Men, she got ready to battle, but Sailor Moon stopped her. Okay, so the girl who's been known to sense things couldn't figure this out. Two powerful psychics couldn't figure this out. You are made of stupid! The war's over, Sailor Mars. They are friends, not enemies. At the same time, Sailor Uranus and Sailor Saturn entered the room. When Haruka saw the burn in Logan's uniform, she rushed to help him, but was surprised when she saw that the burn was completely healed. Logan was also surprised by the strange display of care. Don't worry. I can heal myself. Oh, anyway, let me put this on. She took a piece of fabric from her belt. Well, that was nice of Haruka. And placed it around Logan's arm. Rogue knows this. I don't know about you, but I'll thank this girl's dad for Logan. Silly fanfic. Silly Rogue. Haruka's not sweeting on Logan. Haruka's just doing this because she's being nice. I think you're right. The Sailor Scouts, especially Neptune, also noticed. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if it's Uranus that's helping Wolverine. Yep, indeed he is Jupiter, and something tells me that they are in cahoots, friendship, a large She couldn't finish, as a large huge thunder and a voice was heard. Bow to me. I am Apocalypse, and I will rule the world. Before I continue, I'm kind of upset that this isn't during Stars. Because then they could take it a show and see the starlights. Hey, Professor Xavier, how many starlights are there? There are 4 starlights! Actually, there are 3. You can quite see that. Oh, sorry. There are 3 starlights! Oh, boo! Congratulations, martial art user! You have made probably the most obvious X-Men joke in the history of X-Men! How do you feel? Like I could really use a break? Oh, no. You still got 3 more chapters, buddy. The Era of Apocalypse, Chapter 2. A Sacrifice of Love. The Sailor Scouts and Professor Xavier, along with the X-Men, run out, leaving Steamy Moon sleeping in the room. When they arrived outside, they saw that it was Apocalypse, the one who was standing in sky on his ship. Apocalypse would have a ship. So, you found new mutants, Professor. Then they shall perish along your students. Suddenly, dozens of Sentinel robot. I just want to let you all know in this room that Apocalypse does not have Sentinels! Ah! Why do they do this to me? You can't even get... This is hurting. This is hurting. Suddenly, dozens of Sentinel... and the battle ensued. Sailor Moon and Sailor Sensi had to combine their powers in order to defeat a single one. And the other side, Sailor Saturn and Sailor Neptune were taking care of the Sentinels along with the X-Men, but this was only a small distraction planned by the Apocalypse because they were fighting. He sent a team of mutants known as the Disciples of the Apocalypse against Sailor Moon. You mean the 4 Horsemen? He intended to turn her into a mutant. Without their knowledge, he had been studying the Sailor Scout. Studying? S-T-U-D-D-D-I-N-G. That's studying with a Y. To find out who could be the best one. He thought about Mercury, but oh, thank gods. but he knew that because of her intelligence, she could cause him trouble. Then, he entered his attention to his pink-haired girl. The 10-year-old was the best prospect, so he figured a plan to capture him. Unfortunately, the X-Men were in the area. He decided to create an electromagnetic storm to force them to land in Tokyo, so he could take 2 birds with 1 stone. Doesn't this plan seem rather small, Apocalypse? It does kind of tiny. Meanwhile, the heroes and heroines noticed that the Sentinels started to leave the area and returned to Apocalypse's ships, where Sailor Moon was held captive. Why did they leave?
I think we got them,
answered Sailor Mercury. No thanks, girl. We've faced these things before. They never leave the battle. Then they returned to the room, finding out that Sailor Supermoon wasn't there. Jean used her powers to see the event. I had no idea Jean Grey was precognitive. Sailor Mars is entering the room. Sailor TV Moon is awake and wants to go out and help. Now Mars gives her a drink as he falls asleep. Probably a sedative. Oh God. Sauron is taking her to Apocalypse's ship. Sailor Mars leaves the room. What? Sauron? Sauron. Sauron is working with Apocalypse. Sauron is working with Apocalypse. Do your freaking research! Sauron would never work with Apocalypse! They have different goals, different personalities. They would kill each other first. The only reason why Sauron would possibly work with Apocalypse is Apocalypse gave him a free buffet. If anything, it would be Mr. Sinister! When Jean ended, everyone stayed at Sailor Mars, who was shocked with what she heard. Sailor Moon took her by her blouse. You? How could you? I knew we were always trying to fight with each other, but I didn't know that your hate and envy were like that! You despise. Then she started to cry uncontrollably. But I didn't do anything. Actually, you said you didn't do nothing. That's... I was out there too. Didn't you see me? I mean, that would be... Sailor Jupiter slapped her. Sailor Jupiter slapped her again, and again, and again. Then Sailor Jupiter proceeded to throw her to the ground and ride her like a wild stallion. Wild stallions! You evil monster. If something happens to Sailor Chibi Moon, I'll kill you myself. Do you understand that? Huh? Jupiter, In Apocalypse's ship, Rini woke up and found herself hanging from chains.
Let me go!
Suddenly, a woman with a blue and white suit entered the room. Okay, blue and white suit. Okay, I know this one. Okay, White Queen! No, that's too obvious. Okay, I give up. What is it, my dear? Uncomfortable. Well, yeah, you got me in chains! Sailor Moon and the others will rescue me. Sure. The problem is, they're now punishing Sailor Mars for giving you to us. No! That's a lie! Don't you remember the drink I gave you, my love? To Rini's surprise, will she talk? I don't know, will she? She changed her form. Now she got Sailor Mars in front of her. Who, Rini? Oh, the mysterious mistake!
Mistake?
What? This is what happens when an X-Men fan reads this. My master will make a good mutant out of you, and it will be all Sailor Mars' fault. Why do they want to make him a mutant? I do not understand this plot. In the hotel room, the interrogation of Sailor Mars continued. I swear, I didn't do it. You had to believe me. Wolverine walked toward her, taking the claws out of his right hand. Shake! Maybe I should finish what I started earlier on. But Sailor Mars left the room in tears and run down the street until she got to Cherry Hill Temple. Once there... So, did she run out in uniform? Once she got there in her room and started to cry on her bed until a voice made her react. Ray, what do you want, Luna? Are you going to yell at me too? No, my dear. I believe you. I saw you in battle. And I want you to know that Celestia and I will help you. Thanks, Luna. In the ship, Chibiusa woke up when the door opened again and saw the 8-foot figure Apocalypse, along with a man! Wow, I didn't know Sauron was multiple people. Sauron, here is the one I told you about. I want you to start working immediately. Her friends will be here soon, and I want her to be ready. Yes, Master. Look into my eyes, child. Look into my eyes. Hypnosis is a power of Sauron? No, it isn't. Rini tried not to, but she started to fall asleep. Then Sauron unlocked the chains, and then held her arms, and cuddled her, and took her into another uniform, where he took her uniform off. I took her uniform off? Okay. Okay, I'm going to remember that this is just a science session, and just want to let anybody who might be listening that I am not supporting this. And put her inside a chamber. Then, putting an oxygen mask, press a button, and the chamber filled with a green liquid. Oh, we're talking mutant turtle style! He then pressed other buttons, and purple rays appeared inside. He's going to make her into a super soldier. Sora watched the screen. Again, shouldn't this be Mr. Sinister? The process of the mutation. Meanwhile, Sailor Moon and Savior were talking. Why do you think that... sorry. Why do you think that President Apocalypse cannot your friend?
I don't know, Professor. This is the first time we saw this Apocalypse guy.
Don't you worry. We will help you rescue her.
Thank you.
In another area, Haruka and Logan were talking the other day.
Tell me one thing, Haruka. Why were you so worried about me the other day?
For any answer, she took him by the neck and started to kiss him.
What?
For any answer, she took him by the neck and started to kiss him. I love you, Logan, with all my heart.
I love you too, Haruka.
What? 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 Uh-oh. Oh, shoot. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. It broke him. Oh, shoot. How am I going to... Hey, you, over there in the black room. Yeah, you. Come here. I'm going to give you 10 bucks. 10 bucks. Listen, look. This guy over here,
What's the deal? You okay?
No, he's not. He just read something incredibly stupid that broke him. Tracy herself is right now afraid to look, because she does not want to break. Listen, you take these headsets.
Sure.
You do the library for a few minutes.
Okay, tell me where I left off.
Start right here, and I'm going to fix them.
You're welcome, not a problem. Good evening. I am the little night nurse, and after I've given my poor little Sweepy here a little a shot to help him calm down, I will now continue. Then they continued to kiss each other with the moon as witness of their love. Meanwhile, the Apocalypse's ship, the 6-foot giant, entered the lab to see the advances in the experiment. Oh, really? How's it going, Sauron? Fine, my lord. She'll be ready soon. Perfect. Meanwhile, Sailor Moon and the other Sailor Scouts, including Sailor Mars, why she wasn't part of the Sailor Scouts, were in the Black Bird, getting ready to save Renee. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Sailor Mars stood in a chair and started looking through the window. She reacted when Sailor Jupiter talked to her. I should hope so. If you try to betray us, Sailor Mars, I will not hesitate in killing you. You understand? She didn't answer. She only turned her face so her friend could not see the tears on her eyes. And yes, I am reading this word for word. Minutes later, they were inside of the ship and started to look for Sailor Chibi Moon. Suddenly, several sentinels appeared, and the battle started again. Everyone was doing fine until the moment when Wolverine was trapped between two sentinels. Seeing this, Sailor Uranus, rushed to help him. Seeing that one of them was about to shot Wolverine from the back, she did the only thing she thought. She put herself between the laser and Wolverine, who turned around when he heard the scream of pain of Sailor Uranus. Ow. After taking care of the robot, he rushed to help her. When he found her, she had her uniform and body horribly burned. Oh, those things cost money. She took his hand to ask him one last wish. Logan, please promise me that you will protect Mishiru. Won't be necessary. You'll be okay. You'll see. No, Logan. It's over for me. Please promise me that you'll protect her. I promise. Then she convulsed and her hand followed to the ground. Wouldn't it be shaking to the ground? Sailor Neptune, who arrived at the precise moment, just falled against the wall and started to cry. Logan snapped. Arrgh! Arrgh! Now Apocalypse will pay! Suddenly a door opened, and what they saw shocked them. The gasp. Sailor Chibi Moon! Serena runned towards her, but in response the girl jumped in the air and created two light swords, which he used to attack. Oh my gosh, they changed her sex! To attack Sailor Moon, who flew back with her chest bleeding. The other Sailor Scouts rushed to help her. Ha ha! No, Sailor Moon! Sailor Chibi Moon is dead, and you can call me Cerise. To be continued.
Wait, I think he's starting to come around. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. I think he's starting to come around here. Okay. Are you okay? I'm fine. I just thought I read that Haruka and Logan were making out.
Well, hey, there's something to be said about bye. I mean, well, I guess I have to go for the other chapter. Not a problem. How do you get this thing anyway?
He usually presses the little button over here, and then he does his chapter. I don't know how it works. He's the technical guy.
We did pretty well, Trixie. Thanks again.
No problem. I'm going to go to CVS.
Alrighty. Ah! Excuse me, technical difficulties. We'll be back here in a few minutes. There we go.
Swear, he can know where my button is.
Now. Sailor Moon felt the pain of the cuts on her chest, but in her heart, the other pain, much greater than this, was making her cry. Her future daughter, the only person in the world besides Darien for which she will give her life, attacked her. She couldn't believe it. She didn't wanted to believe it.
Sunset, get the car. We're going on a road trip.
She tried to stand up, but the pain was too hard, and she felt dizzy. She fell to her knees, and Professor Xavier ordered Rogue to take her back to the Black Bird. I hope she had gloves on. Then he ordered the X-Men and the other scouts to go back as well. But when they were heading for the ship, a huge man came out of nowhere and captured Sailor Mars. He pewted his big hand over her mouth before she could call for help. Then she saw a woman in white in a blue dress approached, and when it passed beside, her amazement didn't know any limits when the woman was just transformed into her. Suddenly she felt a needle in one of her arms, and seconds later, blackness. I didn't know you could feel blackness. Back on the hotel, they were sitting up on the roof, Sailor Moon was placed on a bed, and Jean, she was placed on top of Jean, along with Rogue, started to work on the injury she suffered. After a few minutes of treatment, they gave her a sedative that made fall asleep. That made who fall asleep? Then they left her alone. Minutes later, Sailor Mars entered the room. "Ha ha! My master will be pleased. The leader of the Sailor Scouts killed by one of her friends. Mars fire!" "Stop right there, Sailor Mars! Jupiter Thunder! Crash!" Crash! But before the lightning bolt could reach its target, she disappeared. Poof! "Double crosser! I swear I'll kill you, Sailor Mars!" Meanwhile, in the Apocalypse's ship, Sailor Mars was held in a cell. Suddenly, she heard a door opening and saw Cerise walking towards her. Pardon me, guys, I'm part French-Canadian. I can't help myself. "Renee!" For any answer, she created an energy dagger that she throwed at Sailor Mars, hitting her on the left leg. "Next time you call me Renee, I will aim for your heart. You understand that?" "Enough, my child." "Father Apocalypse, I was only teaching her a lesson." "Looks like you have meted my daughter, Sailor Mars." "She's not your daughter, you filthy monster!" He didn't answer her. He just pointed his finger to the dagger that was sticked on the girl's leg, directing a bolt of energy to it. He stood there along with his daughter, watching the girl scream in pain. I thought you would listen to the girl scream, but whatever. Until she passed out. Then both left it. Meanwhile, on the hotel... Why are they on the roof? Oh well. Sailor Mercury entered the room where Sailor Moon... Oh, they have rooms on the roof. Oh well. Must be Japan. Where Sailor Moon was, and found her leader standing in the window looking at the stars. But when she walked towards her, she saw the tears on her eyes. "Are you okay, Serena?" "Amy, everything around me is falling apart. I mean, look, we even have rooms on the roof. First my future daughter attacks me. Then one of my friends double crosses me. What am I doing wrong? Besides laying here on the roof?"
Nothing. This is your fault, Serena. Renee is under the power of that evil creature. Remember when she was Black Lady? This time is different, Amy. When she was Black Lady...
Black ladies, light the candles one by one.
You forgot to play Black Magic, but it's cool.
And attacked me so I could see in her eyes that she didn't want it to hurt me. This time I only saw hate and evil on them.
Fine, the only thing on my eyes are contacts. But anyway.
We will save her, Serena. Believe me, and we will find out why Sailor Mars betrayed us. I know her, Serena. I know she likes you, and that if she did what she did,
it was for a very powerful reason.
Wow. Amy, I don't know what I could do without you. I wish I could be as wise and smart like you. You have something greater than wisdom and intelligence. You have love and a heart that can forgive anything to anyone. Shake your tail, we're gonna party tonight. Shake your tail.
Did somebody say Rainbow Rocks? Okay, I'm back. As long as there's no more Haruka betraying Mishiru and of course destroying a happy relationship, I'm fine. So I can move back now.
No, there's no Haruka and Mashiro, no. This
Okay.
just for some
Good,
reason
thank you.
Sailor Moon is recuperating from injuries on top of a roof of a hotel.
Okay, so okay, you so stupidity. Go. And Tracy, did you give her $10? Yes. Trixie, that was our entire budget for the studio! Oh. So does that mean, yeah, the next Ludiverse episode is going to be really, really cheap? Oh. Well, get to work, reader. I hate my job and every pony in it. Shoot. I have no idea where she was. Oh, there we go. In Tokyo Cemetery, Logan was in front of Haruka's tomb. And, oh, there's the mouse. In his mind, the images of the young woman healing his injuries. Oh no! No, Rias! Mute it! Appeared again and again, until he heard someone crying. He turned and saw Mishiru with her violin. She was on her knees. He walked towards her. Walk this way! You two were really close friends, weren't you?
You, you, ellipses, don't know, ellipses. We were more than friends, ellipses. We were, ellipses, lovers, ellipses. We did everything together, ellipses. Why, ellipses? Why, ellipses, did this happen, ellipses?
Wait, you mean you two were...
Yeah, she licked me all over like I was a freaking ice cream cone and I was all her favorite flavors.
Sometimes life is unfair, girl, ellipses. Sometimes you wish you had the power to change the past, ellipses. But then you realize you can't, ellipses.
I want to play our favorite song, ellipses, but, ellipses. Knowing that she can't hear it anymore, ellipses, it's just too painful.
Like, I think I might know why Haruka was making out with Logan. Why? Of course, it's so obvious. Why? It was a changeling! Oh, well, that makes no sense.
It's too painful, ellipses.
She can hear you, ellipses. No matter where she is now, ellipses. She can, ellipses.
With this word! She stood up and started to play a song so beautiful, Logan couldn't believe it was coming from her hands. It went a little something like this. Oh, I love the world even more than the Japanese love tentacle porn. Let's all get together and live in this world like a monobrow on an Indian girl, and we dance to these stereotypes. The next day, Professor Xavier ordered his team and the Sailor Sensi to prepare a new trip to Apocalypse's ship. Apocalypse doesn't have a ship. Apocalypse does not have a ship. Apocalypse does not have a ship. What part of this do you not comprehend? Minutes later, they were inside the ship again and started walking the hallways, when suddenly they started to hear screams coming from the rooms nearby. I can imagine somebody else is doing a live reading of Von Doomfic. Oh God, it's Ray! We gotta save her! Sarah Jupiter holding her arm. Mm-hmm. Let me go! No, it could be a trap. In the air, Sarah Jupiter released Sailor Moon's arm. God, I wish I knew who was talking during these sentences. And everyone run toward the place where the screams were originating. When they entered the room, they saw Sailor Mars brutally beaten in some sort of energy cell, which was firing lightning blasts at her. Ray! Sailor Moon, ellipses. Escape while you can, ellipses. Please, ellipses. No! You're coming with us! What for, ellipses? To be punished for the things I haven't done, ellipses. Or being threatened to death, ellipses. With death.
No, ellipses. I can see in your eyes that you are innocent, ellipses.
While they talked, Beast found the controls of the cell and turning them off and setting Sailor Mars free. Free, set them free. But in the precise moment when they were about to leave, two members of the Disciples on the Apocalypse, Sabretooth and Omega Red. Excuse me? Two members of the Four Horsemen, Sabretooth and Omega Red. Okay. To be fair, having Sabretooth as the Horseman of Death, or heck, Omega Red as the Horseman of Death, would be freaking awesome! But that's not the way it happens, and that's neither Omega Red and Sabretooth would be working together. The X-Men teamed out to battle Omega Red, while the Sensi fought Sabretooth. In the end, they were both quickly defeated. F you! You had Sabretooth and Omega Red, and they were defeated by the X-Men Okay, Sabretooth, I can understand why he would be beaten by the Sensi easily, but Omega freaking Red! No! Just no! Bad Vic! They continued their search until they entered a big room with big curtains. It was all dark. Suddenly, the lights went on. And they saw the Starlights!
There are 3 Starlights!
Thank you, Patrick. And they saw Apocalypse and Renee sitting on their thrones.
Welcome. I can see that you managed to get here, even to save your friend. But can you survive another encounter with my daughter?
Suddenly, Cerise, I guess, appeared in front of them, and Sailor Moon couldn't hold her anger. She is not your daughter! She never will be! Cerise started to walk toward them. She created a pair of light swords. Ray stood between her and Sailor Moon. Renee, stop it. We're your friends. Sailor Moon is your future mother. For any answer, she jumped and inflicted 2 cuts at Sailor Mars' arms on the way down. But the black-haired girl didn't move. Apocalypse, are you sure this is such a good idea to make her not believe that she's the daughter? Because if she kills Sailor Moon, never mind!
Get out of the way, Sailor Mars. Otherwise, I'll kill you.
If you want to hear Sailor Moon, you'll have to kill me. Understand? As you wish. Cerise started a brutal and unmerciful attack over Sailor Mars. Guys, Sailor Mars is under attack. Maybe you could do something to help? Rogue, pull the gloves off. Absorb her. Logan, attack. Cyclops, I-beams. I mean, I know everybody calls you useless, but I don't see it that way. I remember this one what if that said you were about as good at calculating plans as Captain America. Storm, Blizzard, you could create a small blizzard there. But Gambit, a little help, but to Jubilee, distract them. Uranus, Neptune, Mercury, anybody. If you guys can't do it, why not just call in Bobby and have him freeze her? Anybody, guys, could you do something and stop it, guys? But even with her body bleeding for several cuts she had, she stood there. Cerise couldn't believe why she was risking her life for one that she considered an enemy.
Why are you doing this?
Ellipses, because she is my friend, Ellipses. I care about her, Ellipses, and you, Ellipses. Before answering, Sarah Mars fall to her knees.
Because
Ellipses, because, Ellipses, you, Ellipses, are also my friend, Ellipses. If you want to, Ellipses, to kill, Ellipses, somebody, Ellipses, let it, Ellipses, be me, Ellipses. Cerise stood there, motionless. In front of her, there was a black-haired girl bleeding, telling her that she wanted to trade her life in exchange for Sailor Moon. Something, ellipses, that was telling her that she was doing something wrong, ellipses. Board images, ellipses. A place in the future, ellipses. A crystal empire, ellipses. But then, she remembered that when Sailor Mars gave her to Apocalypse, she bonded her swords into one. Ooh, pretty. A run toward her, but before she could harm her, Sailor Moon flew above Sailor Mars and kicked her in the chest. Point!
Enough! I am not going to let you fight her. Okay, then I'll fight you instead.
Like she did before, she ran towards Sailor Moon with her sword, but the blonde girl just stood there merciless. When the sword touched the silver crystal, a wave of energy engulfed both girls. When it dissipated, Sailor Moon and Sailor TV Moon were on the count unconscious. To be continued. In the next chapter, the final battle between the Sailor Senshi, X-Men, and Apocalypse. Well, there will be a surprise character too. Don't miss it.
Actually, I found out that my contract says that I only had to do 3 chapters today. So, you know what? I think I'll be going on my way now. Doodles!
BAM! Ugh!
Okay, I'm back.
Seeing their friends down, Sailor Jupiter and Sailor Venus run to their aid, while the X-Men tried to distract Apocalypse. At the same time, Sailor Mercury decided to look for the power source of the ship. She knew that she could damage the ship's power systems. They could escape. What she didn't notice was someone was following her. Da-da. It was Jaws. Until she was about to reach her goal, a voice made her turn around. Don't turn around! Uh-oh! Where do you think you're going, Sailor Mercury? The surprised girl couldn't believe her eyes. In front of her was a mirror image of herself. Meanwhile, in Apocalypse's storm room, the battle was fierce. X-Men and Sailor Senshi combined their attacks to attack Apocalypse with no apparent result. Suddenly, Sailor Moon regained consciousness, seeing that Rini was back into Sailor TV Moon. She ran toward her and took her into her little baby arms.
Sailor TV Moon?
The girl slowly opened her eyes.
Don't, ellipses. Tell, ellipses. Daddy, ellipses. That I was bad, ellipses. Don't worry. Everything is okay. Now, I need your help more than ever.
Sailor Moon stood up, and Sailor TV Moon positioned herself in front of her. They each took each other's hands over the water and called for the power of the Quincy Show. A bright light engulfed both of them, and a huge energy blast was fired. Excuse me, but, would they really fall for that, do that? Because I don't think, they should bring something that huge. Never mind! The X-Men were surprised to see how powerful those 2 girls were. While the other Senshi could bite me. Suddenly, Apocalypse disappeared. The light disappeared, and both girls fell to their knees, exhausted. Meanwhile,
Who are you, imposter?
Are you sure that I'm the imposter? I could be Sailor Mercury, and you the imposter!
No, I'm Sailor Mercury.
Sarah Mercury pressed one of her earrings, and a blue visor appeared on her eyes. The blue-haired girl was shocked. Her visor was showing her that the one in front of her had the same physical characteristics she had. Suddenly, a pair of hands grabbed her from behind. Pew!
Ah, let me go.
A bright light appeared, and Apocalypse was in front of her, along with the other Sailor Mercury.
Well done, Mystique. Now I'll possess her body and destroy her friends and Xavier.
Apocalypse can't do that. I know Apocalypse has got a lot of powers, but that ain't one of them.
No! Just when I thought I was going to get through one fanfic where I wasn't going to be badly hurt!
Or beaten! Or used! Sailor Mercury struggled, but there was nothing she could do. Juggernaut was the... Juggernaut?! When did you show up?
I was just making a cameo.
In seconds, Apocalypse turned himself into an energy cloud that entered the girl's body. You can't do that! Sarah Mercury screamed when she saw the light coming at her. Then it was blackness. In peace.
Put me down now. I'm inside of her.
Yes, my lord! The huge man released the girl, now with Apocalypse in possession of her body. In the throne room! The Sensi were happy to have Sailor TV Moon back. Seeing that their enemy was gone, they decided to leave the ship. Sailor Jupiter took her communicator to call Sailor Mercury. Sailor Mercury, this is Sailor Jupiter. Where are you?
I'm in the control room. What is it?
We have to go back. Sailor TV Moon is okay, but she and Sailor Moon need some rest.
What do you want me to do?
Join us, of course. We need you to teleport back to the hotel.
Okay, I'm on my way.
Ellipses. There's something wrong with her, Ellipses, thought Sailor Jupiter. Minutes later, the girls combined their powers and returned to the hotel. Nonetheless, Sailor Mars sensed now she remembers she's psychic! When they combined their powers back on the ship, she decided to talk to Minako about it.
Minako.
Ellipses. I felt something strange when... The strange one? That is quite strange.
We returned from the ship. What?
Ellipses. I'm not sure what it was, Ellipses. Well, it was like there's something else about her, Ellipses.
Do you think she may be in danger?
I hope not, but I'll watch her closely, Ellipses. Later that day, Ray was walking in the hallway when she heard the voices in Ami's room. Why are they all in the hotel? Don't they have their own... Aren't their families worried about them? Darn this, Vic. It's driving me to drink.
Leave me alone.
Forget it, child. You belong to me until I decide to let you go, Ellipses.
The black-haired girl ran toward the room and opened the door.
Ami!
The blue-haired girl turned around slowly.
What, Ellipses? What?
Ellipses. You okay? I heard screams, Ellipses. I mean, sure, it's probably nothing, and I probably wouldn't be expecting it, but...
Ellipses. It was, Ellipses. Was, Ellipses. The TV, Ellipses.
Ray noticed that the power cable wasn't in.
Ami, Ellipses. If you have any trouble, you know you can count on us, Ellipses. Especially me, Ellipses. Ami, Ellipses. You, Ellipses. Are like a sister to me, Ellipses. I care for you more than anything in the world, Ellipses. Don't, Ellipses. Worry, Ray, Ellipses. Every, Ellipses. Thing is, okay. Ellipses, Ellipses, Ellipses.
The black-haired girl walked out and closed the door. She stood against it for a few seconds, enough time to hear Ami cry. So he decided to leave her alone. Then she walked back to her room, where she started a fire, roasted marshmallows, and weenies, and had a cocktail party. Woo! She used her knowledge to find out what was bothering Ami. What she saw shocked her. Ami was in fact played by Fluttershy! No wonder they sound the same. No! Ellipses. No! Why she... Ellipses. Why? Meanwhile, Jean also sensed something, and was sharing it with Professor Xavier. Professor, I have sensed very unusual vibes on Sailor Mercury since we returned from Apocalypse's ship. Closing his eyes, Professor Xavier made mental contact with Sailor Mercury. Ellipses, what he saw shocked him.
Sailor Mercury is in fact played by Counselor Troy! No, ellipses, impossible, ellipses.
What is it, Professor?
Apocalypse, ellipses. He possessed her, ellipses. Every minute that passes, he becomes more and more bonded with her, ellipses.
What do you suggest?
We must call their leader immediately.
Minutes later, Serena was with them. After talking to the police about Ray starting up fires at hotel rooms. But, ellipses, there has to be a way to help her. Ellipses. Suddenly, an explosion was heard. Oh my god, somebody left the iron on! Everyone ran out and saw Ray on the floor, and Ami hovering above her. Her eyes were red, and she was glowing with energy.
Insolent fool! Do you not understand that this body belongs to me now?
Ray tried to stand, but an energy blast knocked her back on the floor. Seeing this, Serena stood up in front of her. Stop it! Ami! You're in there somewhere! You have to fight this evil! You don't have to... Another energy blast knocked Serena against the wall. Simultaneously, Sailor Jupiter and Sailor Venus combining their powers to attack Ami from behind. The surprise attack allowed Ami to regain temporary control of herself. In seconds, she was Sailor Mercury, but Apocalypse gained control again. Meanwhile, the X-Men arrived. First one to attack was Cyclops. He used his laser blast, but Sailor Mercury repelled the attack. It was not going to... Why do these people keep changing genders? See, told you the Starlights are in this. But from behind, Wolverine knocked her down. Once on the floor, Beast held her. Professor Xavier used his psychic blast to knock the girl out. Serena turned to Sailor Moon, prepared her center. Simultaneously, Professor Xavier used his powers to attack Apocalypse. Then the Professor gave her a signal. Sailor Moon used her lunar healing. Inside Ami's mind, the battle was fierce. And seeing Professor Xavier fighting Apocalypse.
Fools, you'll never stop me.
Shine, Aqua, illusion.
The surprise attack diminished Apocalypse's energy, allowing Professor Xavier to contain him. That, combined with lunar healing, allowed them to stop the monster. In the end, Xavier gave another signal, and Sailor Moon stopped her attack. Ami fell to the floor unconscious, while Mars ran toward her. Ami, answer me, please!
I'm Ellipses. Okay, Ellipses. Thanks, Ellipses.
Later that day, the X-Men went to the airport, where the Blackbird was ready to continue to travel.
Professor, we want to thank you for your help.
No, Sailor Moon. You were the one who helped us. I hope we can see each other again. Energize. Now, make it so.
Captain, didn't you find that holodeck simulation strange?
Yes, I did. I had Warp Factor 1, number 1.
Then he entered the Blackbird, and the ship flew into the sky. From a place, a green-haired girl whisked him away with tears in her eyes. You love him, right, Mishiru? Uh-oh! You're like a little lion! Hit the text, everybody. I think this is a big one. Oh, flip. Somebody has to do the sign off. Apple, what do you think?
Niall, Trexing, maybe you can.
Alright, give me a few minutes. This fic was just a steaming pile of puke! I mean, Fondue fics are bad, but this is just horrible on all accounts. X-Men-wise, none of the X-Men really acted as they were, and every single one of them felt pointless. Gambit barely said anything, Rogue barely did anything, Storm was just an enigma, and so was Beast. I'm surprised anybody was you could actually identify any of the characters for the amount of screen time that they had, or the amount of character development that they went through. None of these were the X-Men, they were just a bunch of yahoos wearing X-Men clothing. The same could be said of the villains. The X-Men villains may not have a gigantic rose gallery, but they do have some pretty identifiable villains. This is not something Apocalypse would do. Kidnapping a small girl and trying to mutate her? That's not Apocalypse. That's not even close to Apocalypse's plan. This is too small for him. If anything, he would try to grab the Great Street Show and try to cause devastation to the entire planet. He would see TVU as too small for him. And he would see Sailor Moon. As a matter of fact, why didn't he go for the future princess? Not to mention, considering the timelines of the Crystal Tokyo versus the rest of the X-Men, I feel like there has to be a little plot error going around here somewhere. Not to mention, but the group that he picked. Speaking of which, where was the surprise character? Don't tell me that was Juggernaut. But still, the four horsemen of the Apocalypse's soldiers. They are his most powerful sentries. But none of these guys were the four horsemen. Omega Red should have been a dragon, or should have been the most powerful thing there. He should have been taken out in one screen. Neither should Sabretooth or Juggernaut just simply disappearing. Speaking of which, what is going on in that ship? And Mystique. Mystique would never, ever work with Apocalypse, especially considering the fact that he is one heck of a monster. And of course, the usual Sailor Moon bad character tropes apply, though now they're out in full force, with the girls barely able to do anything without Sailor Moon. All the girls feeling like they are just complete wimpy damsels in distress. But, Lyra, I want to take over. Furthermore, I think the worst thing that happened here, the worst job, was what was done to Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune. It was bad enough that those two were forced to be put into cousins just because of the censors from Cloverway. You could have said the relationship was anything else, but you went with cousins. But here, you basically just threw it out just for a freaking relationship. For a freaking ship that didn't even go anywhere, that made no sense. Part of me is hoping that you didn't just make it so, oh, well, Haruka's not a lesbian because of Wolverine's gigantic masculinity. That is insulting. But another part is knowing that you are just removing this lesbian couple just so you can go ahead and put in your little, oh, well, she's begging Logan. Really? In 5 seconds. You developed Twilight's relationship with freaking Ami faster than you did Logan and Haruka. Here, it made no sense. And it was also insulting. To both the fans of the show, fans of this couple, and fans of the little shit of Haruka, Michiru, and Hotaru's family. Seriously, that was just wrong on every account. On every level. I do hope you had a really good reason for why you did this that doesn't add up to, I don't like lesbians. Because if you did, that would really, really get on my nerves. Thank you. You may continue, Trixie. Yes. And of course, the plot was way too short. The way all the pieces of dialogue fell together, nobody acted like humans. They were all freaking robots. Ugh. Well, normally he would probably do the sign off, but hey, maybe he's back. Alright, get up. Yes. And this fit. Wait a sec. Did Michiru? Yes, Michiru fell in love with Logan. Oh no. We'll see you next time. You miserable piece of slime. I'll rip you to shreds. I'll kill you. I'll murderize you. I'll destroy you.